Hey, what's going on YouTube? Raphael here and welcome to a couple of games on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. And for those of you who don't know, if you record PTCGO, this happens sometimes. You get a frame where you get completely bald just before your hair gets applied. But that's not important right now. What's important is that this time I will be going with RayBoar. And doesn't matter what deck you are playing, there is something you don't want to face. And in case of RayBoar, that's Garbodor. And I happen to had 2 games in a row against different Garbodor decks. And curiously, I don't know how this guy managed to change the deck so fast, because I played with CF Goku or ZF Goku if you're in the UK, with 2 different Garbodor decks, and basically I just finished my game with this guy, then I click play. Yeah, basically play, and then it was this guy again with another deck. So without any further ado, let's go into the Garbodor trials. And as you can see, there is my hair, there is his hair, and let's turn that off. Lucky for me, I will start, and this is an interesting start, very good in my opinion. I will start with Rayquaza, Tropical Beach, 1 energy, Ultra Ball, and that's it. I don't want to get rid of that Tool Scrapper. I really don't want to, just in case this guy is playing Darkrai Garbodor. But I have no other choice. I have to play that Juniper if I'm going to do something, and the only way I will be able to overcome this guy is if I'm faster than him. So I need to hurry up, I need to get Ember out as soon as possible, I need to get as many energy as I can, and at least a second Rayquaza. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go for another Tepic because I want to keep my options open, and there is not a lot I can do. I will Tropical Beach for 1. Yay! Such an impressive turn, Tropical Beach for 1. Not a good hand. Not a good hand. There is a lot of things that I don't want to get rid, but my opponent is kind enough in order to give me a new hand with that end. But he won't be that kind enough again, so he will laser my Rayquaza and that's it. Right here. Dang it, I will have to get rid of my second switch, and that means I have no switch lips. So Hypnotoxic Laser suddenly has become annoying. Annoying as hell. Obviously I will Ultra Ball 2 cards away in order to get an Ember, and as I told you before, I need to play this as fast as I can. So there's no way I will play that Skyla. I will have to get rid of other things in order to get what I need out fast. And guess what? I get just enough energy to knock out this Darkrai. I will take the first 2 prizes, and I'm feeling great right now. There is no Trubbish in play right now, so that is also great for me. But as I told you before, Hypnotoxic Laser will be annoying, so I have to be careful about that because let's be honest, Darkrai is great killing EX Pokemon of 170 HP, and that's the case of Rayquaza. So right here my opponent will have to promote that Sableye, he will use Dark Patch into that Darkrai, and I don't know, maybe it was better for my opponent right now to avoid playing that Beerfang City Gym and just stick to Tropical Beach, because it was going to be very hard for my opponent to attack this turn. So in the end, keeping Tropical Beach on the field I think was better for my opponent, but he decides, no, I want to have your Rayquaza with damage enough for me to knock it out. So that's what he does. Right here, I'm thinking, okay, this Rayquaza did not wake up, and I can go for Switch, then Tropical Beach, but I really don't think that will be useful for me, so I will leave myself open for my opponent winning this Stadium War right here. So that's it. Because I got rid of my third Tropical Beach, that means another Beer Bank City into play will be just enough. So right here what I'm going to do is I will try to recover as many energy from my discard pile, because there's a Trubbish, so that means Garbodor is coming out soon. And I want to be able to attack, so I will use my Level Ball to get my Execute in the discard pile, which is always great. Both RayBoar and Blastoise do such a great use of Propagation. And I will Inferno Fandango 3 energy into my bench Rayquaza, and I will keep 2 energy in my active Rayquaza. And I get to Tropical Beach, which is great. Now I only need Lightning Energy and I will be able to knock out a Darkrai with my bench Rayquaza. And I got it. The reason I got rid of that Juniper instead of that Skyla that was in my hand is because I wanted to keep my options open. I was going to Tropical Beach, so I'm thinking that this Rayquaza will go down, and I will need to get, what's it called, Superior Energy Retrieval. So that's the reason I decided not to throw away my, what's it called, Skyla. And right now it will pay off in such a great way, because, well, it didn't pay off. I top decked that Superior Energy Retrieval, so that means now I can easily get rid of this Darkrai. My opponent will be left with no attacker, and that will be great for me. Obviously, I will use Propagation in order to get the energy out, and right here what I'm going to do is I will Inferno Fandango twice into my bench Rayquaza. I will attach Lightning Energy into my active Rayquaza, and this Darkrai is going down. Right here what I could have done was simply stick to the Skyla just in case I needed that, but the game has already gone so far that I'm thinking, okay, it's best for me to keep pushing and being aggressive. That way my opponent won't be able to recover, and that's what I decide to do. My opponent will Ultra Ball away one Pokemon Catcher, and I don't know, he will go for another Darkrai. He will end me down to 2 cards, which is not good, but one of those cards is my last Superior Energy Retrieval, which means I will be able to have 2 Rayquazas EX ready to kill everything that I need. And since there is no tool on that Garbodor, that means I can use that freely. I will be able to use Propagation, get 4 energy, and even if my opponent plays for some odd reason Eviolite, I will be able to get enough energy, I think, on my bench Rayquaza. So this game is pretty much done at this moment, because the Sableye is going down, my bench Rayquaza is looking great, and what I could have done there was attach that energy, but I didn't want to do it just in case of any weird shenanigans. The Sableye is going down, and right now my opponent needs to realize that there is nothing he can do. But no, he decides to, okay, maybe I will forget that I can retreat with Rayquaza, but I don't know. I don't know what was that. And now my opponent finally concedes. And here is game 2 again against CF Goku. And it's another Garbodor deck. This time it's Garbodor with big basics. In this match, my opponent was a little more aggressive. Not enough to be a threat, but aggressive. My start is nice, I guess. I have access to Supporter, Tropical Beach, Energy, if I'm able to get one Pokemon to attach that energy. But my opponent shows me that he left his Rayquaza deck for the moment and he's playing at least big basics. And right here, my opponent realizes, okay, this is the guy I just played, so I need to get Garbodor out. And I think this was a huge misplay from my opponent. There was no reason for him to attach that Eviolite into Landorus. Like, seriously, you don't need to attach that Eviolite into Landorus. I have no way to get your Garbodor in the active position. And maybe he was thinking that this will make me waste 4 energy instead of 3. But seriously, there was no reason to do this. So here it comes, he gets Floatstone, he even plays Virbank City Gym, and now my Mr. Mom is not looking that good. Again, it was better for my opponent to leave Tropical Beach on the field because, as we can see, he only has one card in his hand, which is never good. Don't do that. That's not something you want to do when you are playing Pokemon. Unfortunately, I will have to get rid of 3 Junipers. 3 Professor Junipers gone in just this turn. Are you kidding me? Well, that's not what you want to see. And here's why having Tropical Beach into play was better for my opponent than letting this Virbank City Gym going on. So what I'm going to do right here, I will get to energy, not enough to knock out these Landorus, but I don't want that Mewtwo to do some weird stuff on my field, so I will have to Dragon Burst these Landorus for 120 damage. And now my board position is quite good, to be honest. Yeah, right here, I need that fire energy, so there's no way for me to evolve that Ember. I finally decide that, nope, I won't do that. I will keep Rare Candy because I play 2 Super Rods in this deck, so that means I can get another Ember if I need it. But I only play 4 Rare Candies and I don't want to waste them if I don't have to. And right here, I will take these 2 easy prizes on this Landorus EX, and out of my prizes, I get just enough fire energy in order to knock out this Mewtwo. My opponent finally top decks a supporter, and he will even attack this Mewtwo. This Rayquaza with his own Mewtwo. And we see a Landorus going down on the field. My opponent is not running low on attackers, but now I have this Rayquaza. I will Inferno Fandango 3 times into my active Rayquaza. I will even attach into my bench Rayquaza, and suddenly this Mewtwo is gone. And looks like my opponent does not have such a good hand right now because he decides to concede. And that's it. That is just what happens when you don't get to draw your Garbodors in time. Because that's just what it happens. Even in this match, well, in this last game, what my opponent did in order to lose the match was getting rid of my Tropical Beach. And that's it. So we come back again to the question, when do you want to keep Tropical Beach into play? Because it will be useful for you, but it will also be useful for your opponent. And in this case, if he had kept my Tropical Beach into play, there was no way for me to win this match. Garbodor was out so soon in the game, and I had to get rid of 3 Professor Juniper in just one turn. There was no way I could recover from that. At least not that easy. Just look at that, my opponent has a hand of 6 cards and I only have Rare Candy. But that's it, that was the 2 games for today, and okay. Guys, let me know if you want me to play a specific deck, and I will do my best to make it happen. So, with that in mind, I will see you all next time.